Yo, what's up, Israelites? It's your boy, Yah's chosen one, man. Doing it once again, man. We're in the great book of Jasher. We're on chapter 76. Um, these books that we've been going through, man. They are things that's happening before Moses became our leader. You know what I'm saying? These are things that are happening before Moses became leader. Our hardships, Moses' hardships, and things that was happening around the world at the time. Yeah, Egypt was a focal point in Genesis, but there was other things going on around the world in Africa, Chittim, and other places in Asia and other places. So we're going to continue right here with chapter 76 in the great book of Jasher. I'm going to make this a two-part video for chapter 76 because it's pretty long. About 31 verses for one vid, 31 for the other. I think it's like 62. Yeah, it's like 62 verses. So here we go. And Moshe the son of Amram was still king in the land of Cush in those days, and he prospered in his kingdom, and he conducted the government of the children of Cush in justice and righteousness and integrity. So here we have Moshe, leader and king of these Hamites, Canaanites, Hamites, whatever. King of them. You know what I'm saying? So, but let's keep reading and see what Moshe does. And all the children of Cush loved Moshe all the days that he reigned over them, and all the inhabitants of the land of Cush were greatly afraid of him, so they revered him. So most time when you say you're afraid of, no, you revere the Most High. You know, not that you're scared of him, but you revere him, because I'm sure there was valiant men there, but they revered Moshe. In the 40th year of the reign of Moshe over Cush, what's that? All right, Moshe was sitting on his royal throne, whilst Adoniah, the queen, was before him, and all the nobles were sitting around him. And see that word Adoniah? It's like goddess. And Adoniah, the queen, said before the king and the princess, "What is this thing which you, the children of Cush, have done for this long time?" All right, let's see what she's talking about. Let's see what she's bickering about over here. "Surely you know that for 40 years that this man has reigned over Cush, he has not approached me, nor has he served the gods of the children of Cush." So obviously we see right there, these Cushites, these Hamites, have different gods than us, man. They always have and they always will. You guys don't serve the same. We Israelites don't serve their gods, okay? So don't let some Egyptologist or some other Afrocentric person try to get you to serve some deities, plural, gods. Polytheism, all this stuff. "Now therefore hear, O ye children of Cush, and let this man no more reign over you, as he is not of our flesh." Now he wasn't. Just like Moshe wasn't Egyptian flesh, he was Israelite. He was Hebrew. And you see what Moses did, man. You can understand this queen. She has to be frustrated, man. 40 years she's reigning. She ain't had sexual relations, man. That would kind of tick you off. I mean, if I was a woman, I'd be ticked off too. Because we all need satisfaction, man. We all need it. And for 40 years, this dude ain't even approached her, ain't even looked at her way. "Behold, Menacrus, my son." So she's, so before, and another thing, he couldn't touch this woman because, mostly because this woman had already had sexual relationship with the prior king. You know what I'm saying? So it would be a abomination for Moses to touch that woman. "Behold, Menacrus, my son, is grown up. Let him reign over you, for it is better for you to serve the son of your Lord than to serve a stranger, slave of the king of Egypt." So they knew Moshe's origins, man. They knew he was from Egypt, and they knew he wasn't of their flesh. Yet still they loved him. So let's see what happened. "And all the people and nobles of the children of Cush heard the words which Adoniah the queen had spoken in their ears, And all the people were preparing until the evening. And in the morning, they rose up early and made Menachus, son of Kikianus, king over them. So Kikianus and Adoniah had a son together. His name was Menachus. Moshe knew this, knew he shouldn't be messed with this woman who had already had sexual relations from a prior relationship. All right. And all the children of Cush were afraid to stretch forth their hand against Moshe, for Yah was with Moshe. And the children of Cush remembered the oath which they swore unto Moshe, therefore they did not harm to him. So they had given Moshe an oath that, you're going to be our king and we're not going to do anything, man, to you. You know what I'm saying? So let's see how they're going to resolve this little issue, because it is an issue. He never touched the queen, so it's definitely an issue. You know what I'm saying? But the children of Cush gave many presents to Moshe and sent him from them with great honor. So they loved this guy. He had gave him a place to stay again, because remember, all his men were locked out of the city. Moshe was a great general. They loved Moshe. He knew he was smart. He was strong. He was intelligent. So, they sent him away with great honor. So Moshe went forth from the land of Cush and went home and ceased to reign over Cush. And Moshe was 66 years old when he went out of the land of Cush. For the thing was from Yah, for the period had arrived which he had appointed in the days of old, to bring forth Israel from the affliction of the children of Ham. There we have it. These Hamites, man. I got into it today with some Hamite woman. Well, she was an Israelite woman, but she, her spirit is Hamite, so she's, I consider them Hamites, man. If you bow down to their Egyptian, all that stuff, so I think you're Hamite. Your spirit is Hamite, so I know you by your seed, you're Hamite. And, and she was trying to tell me, man, how could I be against Africa and all that stuff? And I'm like, man, well, for one thing, those are the very same ones that sold your ass into slavery. So I'm not African. I'm not, my residence was Africa, but I'm not African. You know what I'm saying? I'm an Israelite. I'm proud to be an Israelite, and I'm going to die Israelite, and I'll praise Yah until I die. So Moshe went to Midian, for he was afraid to return to Egypt on account of Pharaoh, and he went and sat at a well water in Midian. So Moses didn't want to go back to because Moses killed people, killed some people over there in Egypt, killed some Egyptian soldiers, and he didn't want to go back. And the 7 daughters of Reuel, the Midianite, went out to feed their father's flock. And remember, Reuel, he was an Egyptian. And he was vanquished out of Egypt too. Keep that in mind. And they came to the well and drew water to water their father's flock. So the shepherds of Midian came and drove them away. And Moshe rose up and helped them and watered the flock. And they came home to their father Reuel and told him what Moshe did for them. And they said, an Egyptian man has delivered us from the hands of the shepherds. He drew up water for us and watered the flock. And Reuel said to his daughters, and where is he? Wherefore have you left the man? And remember, that's in Exodus 2, verse 20, where this is taking place. You know what I'm saying? This is Exodus 2, verse 20, where this is taking place. Go ahead and read this. And he said to his daughters, and where is he? Why is it that ye have left the man? Call him that he may eat bread. All right. And Reuel sent for him and fetched him and brought him home, and he ate bread with them. And Moshe related to Reuel that he had fled from Egypt, and that he had reigned 40 years over Cush, and that they afterward had taken the government from him, and had sent him away in peace with honor and with presents. And when Reuel had heard the words of Moshe, Reuel said within himself, I will put this man into the prison house, whereby I shall conciliate the children of Cush, for he has fled from them. So this guy thought he'd get some kind of prize out of it. Some, thinking Moses was a fugitive, and think he would get some kind of prize or something if he returned Moshe. You know what I'm saying? And they took and put him into the prison house. And Moshe was in prison 10 years. So being a leader of the Most High, man, isn't all glamorous, man. Remember, Joseph stayed in prison, I think, for 12 years, 12 or 20 years, I can't remember. So being like a leader, they go through trials and tribulations. Shoot. You know, Abraham almost had to kill his son. You know what I'm saying? Or was it? Yeah, Abraham almost had to slay his son. All right. And the children of Israel were yet in the land of Egypt serving the... Wait a minute. Did I get that right? Yeah. And the children of Israel... Oh. Sorry about that. And they took and put him into the prison, and Moses was in... Okay. Zipporah, the daughter of Ruel, took pity over him and supported him with bread and water all the time. So here's a story about Abraham and Zipporah. And remember, Aaron, when Moses, you know, just foreshadowing, when Aaron comes back, man, he didn't want, or was it Keturah? I can't remember. But Zipporah was taking care of him the whole time. The daughter of Ruel took pity over him and supported him with bread and water all the time. And the children of Israel were yet in the land of Egypt, serving the Egyptians in all the manner of hard work. And the hand of Egypt continued in severity over the children of Israel in those days. So, you know, we seeing everything starting to take place. We have Zipporah taking care of Moshe, and we continue to see that our people are continue to be flocked and enslaved. At that time, Yah smote Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he afflicted the plague of leprosy from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head. Owing to the cruel treatment of the children of Israel, was this plague at that time from Yah upon Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Now, leprosy, I don't know the way that, you know, doctors describe it today, but leprosy, as we'll read in, I think, Leviticus, is something else, man. It's like a whitening of the skin. It's a whitening of the hair. And you gotta think about it, man. You know, because everybody, you know, who had that color, who had the pigment in their skin, this was something bad. Because when Moses put his hand in his bosom and it came back out white, it was leprous. Remember? It was leprous. He lost his pigmentation. He was white, like snow. All right. And all the children of Israel were yet in the land of Egypt. So, okay. At that time, all right, verse 26. For Yah had hearkened to the prayer of his people, the children of Israel, and their cry reached him on account of their hard work. Still, his anger did not turn from them, and the hand of Pharaoh was still stretched out against the children of Israel. And Pharaoh hardened his neck before Yah, and he increased his yoke over the children of Israel and embittered their lives with all manner of hard work. Even when this guy got leprosy, you know, and his silly little gods couldn't help him, because it was from Yah, the supreme being of the universe. And when Yah had afflicted the plague upon Pharaoh, king of Egypt, he asked his wise men and sorcerers to cure him. And his wise men and sorcerers said unto him, that if the blood of little children were put into the wounds, he would be healed. You know, these are sorcerers, man. This is the way that they combated things that they didn't know. So they taught enchantments and blood of little children, man. That's why I don't like Hamites, man. And his wise men and sorcerers said unto him, all right, and Pharaoh hearkened to them and sent his ministers to Goshen to the children of Israel to take their little children, because lo and behold, we don't want to take any Egyptian kids' blood. What's an Israelite child? We'll slay a little Israelite child, we'll take his blood, and this will help. And Pharaoh's ministers went and took the infants of the children of Israel from the bosoms of their mothers by force, and they brought them to Pharaoh daily, a child each day, and the physicians killed them and applied them to the plague. Thus did they all the days. And notice they say a physician. So here's the doctors performing what we call, well, this is like, well, this is just murder, but it's still abortion. In some way, it's still an abortion. You know, it's not an abortion because the child is fully developed, but this is just murder. So whatever this physician was doing, you know, whatever medicine they had back then, it was killing them. You know, somehow these physicians were killing these little babies. 32, and the number of the children which Pharaoh slew was 375. So that's like every day of the week. There was one, like he said, one day out the week, and 10 more. Slaying these babies for no damn reason, to try to this fake cure for their Pharaoh. All right, I love you guys. Each day, I want you to gather knowledge, gain knowledge each and every day. And just realize, man, that, you know, you're not a damn Hamite, man. Sure, there was some interbreeding going on, man, but your spirit will tell a lot about you. Your understanding. If you get knowledge like this and you still want to go to this Egyptian thought, this Afrocentric thought, then you're a Hamite, man, no question. When we trying to give you edification and knowledge that you are different from these Hamite, Mitzrayim, Cushim idiots, then that's what you are. You know, I don't have to put down a Hamite, but you know, I understand that I'm different from them, and more than likely, they understand that they're different from me too. The world doesn't know that, or the world does know that, but they want you to continue to be stupid about it. All right, shalom.